Everyone, and welcome to the August edition of Price Know-How Snippets. With me, as always, is my Managing Director, Mike Boswell, who's going to talk about some of the fundamental factors that are likely to affect polymer prices. And he'll be followed by Ian Chisnell, our Polyolefins and Sustainability Product Manager, who's going to talk about how that's likely to impact monomers and polymer prices. So over to you, Mike.
Yeah, thanks, Katherine. Quite interesting times, both on the currency and the oil markets. I think there's a lot been going on in the background politically, also geopolitically as well. Let's start with oil. And in June, the average price per barrel was 82.61. Actually, the average price went up to 83.94 in July. What was interesting, though, I think the lower end of the pricing was interesting, that action. Although the minimum was 77.27 in June, it was slightly higher at 78.63 in July, and the maximum again slightly up from 86.39 to 87.43 in July. In pounds per tonne basis, the change was actually very small on the average price. It went from £489.47 to around £492, an increase of £2.53 per tonne. So quite interesting. I think people are always watching when the price dips below $80 a barrel. You know, that's kind of quite a crucial thing. But with tensions in the Middle East, we're back above that level stage, just into the very early 80s. Exchange rates also very interesting. So against the euro, the pound increased from 118 to 119. Against the dollar, on average, it went from 127 in June to 129 in July. But many of us will note the fact we actually went above 130. We're now back in sort of the 128, so quite dynamic at the moment. And really, it's a story of pound strength, actually. So the pound has strengthened both against the euro and the dollar. So that's kind of helping to perhaps mitigate any impacts in terms of oil price, energy costs. And Ian's going to take us through monomers now. So Ian, over to you.
Many thanks, Mike. So yeah, as Mike mentioned, sort of oil prices on average were up. This fed through to naphtha, which was also on average up. And that's led to a €20 a tonne price increase for both C2 and C3 monomers contract pricing going into August. So ethylene gone from 12.20 to 12.40, and propylene's gone from 11.05 to 11.25. That has already been fed through into polymer prices, and almost without exception, pretty much every seller is looking for a monomer plus, and that's ranging from somewhere in the region of plus 40 to plus 75. Heard reports today of some of the major producers in Europe citing very low inventories and asking for plus 90. That was specifically on LDPE, citing shortages in the market. Remains to be seen how strong some of these attempts at price increases will get through, but we will definitely see monomer plus increases in August. My personal opinion, it will be averaging around about €50 a tonne. Depends on your starting point, depends on the grade. For example, LDPE does appear to be a little bit tight in Europe. HDPE appears to be maybe slightly less so. There's slightly better imports, so HDPE is a little bit flatter. On polypropylene, again, sort of some good volumes of homopolymer coming through on the import scene, which means that maybe it'll be a monomer plus and it'll be a plus a small amount. Copolymer less so, more dependent on imports from areas that are more affected by high freight rates. So much more likely to see a plus 50 going through on those. But as Mike sort of said, it's a very dynamic picture. There's a lot of things going on. So please keep talking to us. We will do our best to keep you informed, and just ask if there's anything else that we can do for you.
Thanks so much, Mike. Thank you very much, Ian. Our full edition of Price Know-How will be out around the middle of the month, but as Ian says, please do contact us in the meantime if you need information. Thanks very much for your attention.